Welcome to this week's Movie Math, where it was a lovely weekend for Pitch Perfect 2. Yes, the Bard and Bellas showed everyone how it's done, as they massively overperformed to debut at #1, with more money in a single weekend than the first Pitch Perfect made during its entire domestic run. What's more, the $70 million haul put the low-budget sequel, made for just $30 million, in league with much more lavish femme-friendly productions like Maleficent and Cinderella. Disney must be salivating at the potential gross for their upcoming Beauty and the Beast, which will be its first live-action fairy tale musical. And of course, this is just more evidence that women have become a force to be reckoned with at the box office, and perhaps soon behind the camera as well. This is, after all, proving to be a great year for female directors. First was Sam Taylor Johnson's 50 Shades of Grey, and now Elizabeth Banks with her directorial debut here. Pitch Perfect 2's success will also surely put upcoming fellow female comedies Spy and Trainwreck in a good position when they hit theaters in just a few weeks. And we'll see if they can keep this momentum going, or, well, let's just say it would suck to be the one to slow this thing down. Ironically, Pitch Perfect 2 overshadowed Mad Max Fury Road, which also features strong female characters, in particular Charlize Theron's Furiosa. Perhaps Warner Brothers made a mistake not playing up her role more in the marketing campaign, although one can understand their initial decision, as Theron is not a box office draw, only scoring when she's part of a bigger, flashier package. In fact, Mad Max Fury Road's second-place finish was a harsh reminder that things like star power, brand recognition, and mainstream appeal are more important than critical acclaim and creative risk-taking. Perhaps that's why Pitch Perfect 2 besting Mad Max Fury Road hurt so much for many who feel it should be the opposite, which led to things getting ugly as the box office numbers came in. Pitch Perfect 2 was labeled a lame sequel whose success epitomized the decay of modern-day culture, while others accused Mad Max Fury Road of being an overhyped fanboy flick whose impressive Rotten Tomatoes score was suspicious, pointing out that Warner Brothers does own the website. In reality, though, what we really have here are two great films, the primary difference being that one is stronger from a business perspective and the other from a creative perspective. Hollywood would be ecstatic with Mad Max Fury Road's debut if the film didn't have a budget of $150 to $200 million. It actually opened on par with last year's Lucy, but that film did have star power with Scarlett Johansson. In fact, it cemented her as a box office draw and was made for just $40 million. Kingsman, another recent R-rated actioner, cost just $80 million. Interestingly, both Lucy and Kingsman finished with about $400 million worldwide, but such a final tally for Mad Max Fury Road would only result in the film breaking even. So this means that while George Miller put all that money to spectacular use, unless Mad Max Fury Road has a good showing during award season, it's unlikely a studio will give an artistic filmmaker that size budget again, because audiences simply don't seem to be interested at a level that warrants the investment. So after that sobering assessment, let's turn our attention to the rest of the box office. Avengers Age of Ultron fell another 50% in its third weekend domestically, yet thankfully joined the billion-dollar club worldwide. And with that, many industry trades are closing the book on Ultron, as its box office numbers aren't that exciting otherwise. Sure, this gives Marvel Studios its third film in the billion-dollar club, but Furious 7 is coming awfully close to unseating the first Avengers for third place. Furthermore, while Avengers Age of Ultron did boffo business when it opened in China this past week, Furious 7 remains the biggest debut there of all time. Furthermore, Ultron now looks unlikely to come anywhere close to the first Avengers domestic haul, meaning that once again overseas box office saved the day. Can it still pull in the extra $500 million needed to top the first Avengers, or the $200 million needed to top Iron Man 3? We'll see. But so far, it looks like the biggest movie of 2015 will be Furious 7. If the Avengers can't outrace Dom, does anyone else this year stand a chance? Furious 7 and Pitch Perfect 2 are both Universal releases, as is 50 Shades of Grey, and they still have Jurassic World, Ted 2, Minions, Trainwreck, Straight Outta Compton, Steve Jobs, Crimson Peak, and Sisters to Go. Wow! All the other movies this weekend found themselves fighting over scraps, with Home faring the best with just a 12% drop. Slowly but surely, the DreamWorks animation film is crawling towards the 400 million mark, which it needs to reach to qualify for sequel consideration. And thanks to an additional 190 theaters, Far From the Madding Crowd popped up into the top 10, hoping to make some waves ahead of a very crowded award season. Yes, as a summer debut, it really is far from the Madding Crowd. As for this coming weekend, we have another strong matchup with Tomorrowland versus Poltergeist, with Disney expected to be victorious. Both will have to contend with Pitch Perfect 2, though, which, thanks to its massive debut, will be right in the thick of things, even with a 50% drop. And that's the weekend box office, breaking down Tinseltown. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope we'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.